What is up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. Today was a kind of a slowish day in the market, and that's to be expected. We coming up to holiday season, and price action starts to slow down a little bit. The volatility starts to slow down as well. And today for me was kind of a rough day. Even though I'm up 200 bucks on the day, I made two trades, and I made one really lucky trade here, and then I really messed this one up. And let's go over the live trades real quick. So I do want to talk about this white arrow, and I was thinking about taking the long here because it's technically a second entry long, but after I refreshed my chart, if I just go back here for a second, the candle looks a little different, and this is what I was looking at before, and once I refresh my chart, the candle has changed. So again, it's the whole thing with the tick charts. They're gonna look different every single time. Yours might look different than mine, and mine will look different than yours. Sometimes your setup will look better than mine, and vice versa. So yeah, I was trying to figure out what's happening here. Yeah, anyways, let's go to the first trade. So the first trade coming up here in a second. Basically what I was looking for, we have a big uptrend up, and we are kind of in a range-ish, but I figure we have this nice uptrend. I figure we might test the highs again, but I think the trend is actually a little bit tighter, so you do have a break and then a new high already in place. But at the time I didn't see that, and I saw this nice bullish candle, and I figured I'd pull the trigger, which I did. And then again, two contracts, nothing crazy. Even on a 5-minute chart, I figure we gotta bounce off the EMA, maybe push a little higher, and I only got 1 point out of that. So again, I wasn't trying to go for anything crazy, just because we do have a kind of like a short-term downtrend working down, and you have a sort of like a trend line here. You'll see in a second, I'll draw a trend line here, and I only got 1 point, which is really lucky. And of course, price reversed and went even lower. Again, lucky trade. And you can clearly see in a 5-minute chart, the candle is super bullish or bearish, and yeah, extremely lucky trade. But 1 point, again, it is what it is, right? I mean, I'm glad I got out where I got out, but also I was looking at kind of like sort of there's a support here. If you draw a line here, you can see 1, 2, and 3. So a little bit of support here as well. At the time I did like the trade, but I'm glad I only got one point out of that, and I'm glad I got out. So yeah, let's move on to the next trade. So the next trade here, I kind of fudged it a little bit. I was thinking about taking a short here at this lower high here, but I didn't like how there's a bunch of stems and smaller bodies. I didn't like that area. So I definitely hesitated and didn't feel like taking the trade, even though it would have worked out. But at the time, you don't know that. So I did like the signal bar, I like how it was at the EMA, but I don't like how it was 3 bars and there was a bunch of wicks and stuff. I didn't like that. I was also thinking about taking this short here as well at the EMA. Again, I was kind of hesitated. I was a little bit shooken up from this trade here, so I didn't really want to like push it a little bit. Again, even though it worked out, but you can clearly see me measuring the points distance. Yeah, this trade coming up here, it's basically off of the EMA again. I guess I kind of fudged it a little bit, and I don't know what I was trying to do. Maybe trying to do a runner or whatever, but basically I split my contracts, so I took profit. First contract was off at 0.75, and then the second one was at 1 point, which is it was dumb. It was dumb trade. Not a dumb trade, but dumb way of managing trade. I should just left it alone. But yeah, it is what it is. And actually, I think it was actually also a second entry long failure as well. You have a new high here, first entry, second entry long, and original thought process was price might come back and test this overnight lows here, which eventually it did, but that was kind of like my idea. You do have a downtrend working down, and when you're kind of in the range like that, I don't really try to pay attention to wider channels in the range. just because they're not really reliable. But you can clearly see there's a trend line working through it. You have a break and new low. So breaking new low did happen, so it is kind of a little sketch going there, but we're going short. But you can clearly see here there's a nice bearish bar, and I was just waiting for this bar to break the previous low of the bar, previous bar low. And yeah, I'm gonna get filled here in a second. Again, I'm still using the buy ask and sell ask buttons, and really there's nothing else. So it ticked through, and then I pulled the trigger, and the price kind of, for a second I thought it was gonna get filled, but eventually I did, and here we go in the trade. Yeah, I don't like how Quantower splits my orders like that, but it is what it is. Sometimes it gets filled at the same time, sometimes it splits the orders, and then it split the orders here, and again I made a mistake. Again, it should have been 1 point the first contract and then whatever the rest, but I don't know what I was thinking. Don't have an answer for you guys. But anyways, my first contract got filled, and brought my other contract to pretty much a break even, and got filled on the second one here in a minute. I think I should have, I think the target profit was correct, and I should have just left it with 2 contracts instead of just doing split 1 contract into 2s, or split 2 contracts into 2 ones. But yeah, it was a tough day today. Again, a little bit of a lack of focus. Again, $200 in a day. The eval is sitting at $1,100, so I'm about I don't know, less than $400 away from passing the evaluation. But like I said before, we're coming up to holiday season, so the volatility and the momentum will be the same as usual. And this is what I was talking about. The price did came back to the overnight highs, overnight lows, and I was actually walking my dogs here, so I couldn't really take a trade. There was a Bookmap TTW trade signal here to go long. It was a nice little sweep down and then a exhaustion here, so nice little signal to go long. I probably would not went long on this bar, maybe the next bar, or the bar, or this bar right here, but either way, yeah, tough day. $200, and I'm gonna call it a day. Really, I don't like this price action. This makes me nervous, and I'll come back tomorrow and see where we're at. And also, yeah, by the way, this is not 50% off. This is actually 71% off. Again, I don't know why they're doing 71% off. That's just a random, number, but it's not 50, it's 71. So if you want to pick some up, please use my code. But yeah, that's it for me. That's it for the video, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.